Okay, guys, so coming in at the first reason why console gaming is better than PC gaming, and that's going to be the lack of intelligence that you need for console gaming.
I knew it was only a matter of time before I did a response video, and I figured what better way to kick that off than with a console versus PC video. This is YouTuber Life Made Easy. He has 22,000 subscribers, and when looking at his channel, I found that to be a little odd. Not just because I don't think his content's very good, but because his view count is so low for the most part. There are some videos that have thousands of views, but for the most part, 71 views, 132 views. And just looking at some of the videos that he does, this video is clickbait, free shoutouts. This is not indicative of a quality channel. The video that we're going to be looking at today is titled Top 5 Reasons Why Console Gaming is Better Than PC. And I just can't wait to hear those reasons.
Yeah, I'm like, oh God, oh my God.
Hey guys, before the video starts, make sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and also check out my merch store and my Discord. Let's go.
It's always a bad sign to me when the video starts with the creator telling you to subscribe to their channel and follow them on other social media sites. I mean, I have no problem with somebody promoting their content and wanting to grow their channel. After all, that's why we're all here. But at least save that for the end, after you've proven your content is something that's actually worthy of attention.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Life Made Easy.
Come again?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Life Made Easy.
I'm sorry, what?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Life Made Easy.
Was that even English? What language was that?
And today, guys, I'm bringing you another comparison video when it comes to gaming hardware. My previous video, I compared console and PCs and why PC was better. I gave you top 5 reasons. In this video, I'm going to be doing top 5 reasons why console gaming is better than PC gaming. Console specifically, like Nintendo Switch, PS4, and Xbox One compared to PC gaming. So without further ado, let's hop into the top 5 reasons.
I've seen a lot of these console versus PC videos, and most of them seem to enjoy the top 5 style of videos. And the odd part is that a great deal of them also reference that they've done the inverse argument of this video, which is top 5 reasons why PC is better than consoles. And I just have to ask, you do realize that there's not the same number of reasons why one is better than the other, right? There are far more reasons as to why PCs are superior to consoles. Better graphics, higher frame rates, better resolutions, more versatility, more peripherals, more options on how to communicate with friends, cheaper games, customizability, they help you lose weight, they add 3 inches to your penis. The list goes on and on.
Okay, guys, so coming in at the first reason why console gaming is better than PC gaming, and that's going to be the lack of intelligence that you need for console gaming.
I'm sorry. This is your first point out of all of the ways that you could have tried to argue this ridiculous point that consoles are better than PCs. You chose this. This is really what hooked me to watch the rest of the video, because I honestly thought it was a troll. Why not just say something like you think that they're easier to operate? Why say something like the lack of intelligence? And while we're on that topic, it's not like a PC is any harder to operate. Are you able to plug an HDMI cord into a TV or a monitor? Do you have the ability to plug a controller or a keyboard in? Congratulations, you can operate a PC. Talk about setting the bar high for console players. Clearly, the soft bigotry of low expectations is at play here. So if you're a console fan, that means you must be one of the dumbest people on the planet. And it wouldn't be fair for me to assume that you can handle the simple task like pushing a button. No, I'm sorry. That's just too much for you to handle. We don't want you to hurt yourself now. This is something that I see perpetuated by console fanboys very often, and it's hard to understand why. I mean, it's not like a majority of console players are drooling Neanderthals. Operating a PC isn't like trying to do open heart surgery while simultaneously jerking off to anime titties. I will say, however, it was a pretty low IQ move of you to use white text on a snow map. Like, come on, man, what the hell is that?
And I don't say this in an insulting way, I just say that it is better for the consumer to understand console gaming, usually pertaining to younger kids.
I guess all kids are just idiots and they can't handle the complex nature of turning on a computer, which by that logic would mean that they would also have a difficult time turning on a console and navigating the console menus. So I guess kids should just avoid games altogether.
Because the main reason for this is that console gaming in itself just works. There's no looking into detailed PC specs to make sure your computer has the right specifications to play a specific game, make sure that you can get a good enough FPS and that your hardware can match the game and how much performance you need in your PC to actually run the game at a good frame rate. Console gaming, you just put in the disc and it's going to run 60 frames per second basically all the time.
Okay, hang on a second. There was a lot of stupid in that section. First of all, checking your system specs is not difficult to do if you know how to read. Sorry, was that ableist of me? I can't keep track of all this shit anymore. Look, I'll even show you. Let's just go to the Steam store here, and we'll pick a game. Greedfall, sure, why not? All right, so let's go down and find the specifications for the... Oh, and what do you know? Here they are, system requirements, minimum and recommended. And by the off chance you don't know your own PC specifications, which I would be shocked if you didn't, most people that play on PC do, but if you don't, you can simply look at your system settings, which takes no longer than 30 seconds. This is not difficult to do, and I don't understand why this point is parroted all the time in almost every single video that I see. I don't understand what you mean by hardware matching the game. Do you mean my computer's hardware matching that of the developers that made the game, or like what hardware the game was made on? I don't get it. What am I matching here? What do I have to match here? PC gaming is all about flexibility and choice. So to your next point about how much performance I need from my PC is entirely subjective. The PC platform is the platform of choice and gives people options and allows them to get as much performance as they would like. Perhaps somebody coming from, I don't know, a console feels like excellent performance is 1080p and 60 frames per second. That's acceptable for them. Maybe somebody wants to crank it up a little bit and play at 144 Hz at 1440p. What somebody finds acceptable in terms of performance is entirely up to them. I know I sure as hell wouldn't want to be playing an FPS game online with 30 frames per second. That sounds fucking miserable. Okay, console games run at 60 FPS basically all of the time? Console games that run at 1080p and 60 FPS are few and far between, and when there's finally a game that touts a somewhat stable frame rate and resolution that doesn't mimic a PowerPoint slideshow, the game struggles to maintain that solid 60 frames per second, often dipping when there's too much going on the screen at one time. The outdated and antiquated hardware of a console just can't handle the strain of most games.
Okay, so the second reason why console gaming is better than PC gaming is when it comes to AAA titles. Now, I mentioned back in the PC versus console and why PC was better, that PC was better because it had a bigger library of games, because it had like the Steam library and the other libraries like the Epic Games Launcher library. Tons of games out there, tons of indie games. The main reason that console is better in this case, though, is that console tends to have more AAA titles coming out for them. This isn't the case for every game, but most of the time, AAA titles are more prioritized for console gaming, not PC gaming. So sometimes you go on the PC store and you won't see specific AAA games, and they're probably on console in that case.
Oh yes, the exclusive argument. Exclusives are the only thing that keeps consoles going. It's how companies get people to buy inferior hardware because they're developing a game that's only going to be released on that specific box. I hate exclusives, whether it be PC, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo. I don't care. Exclusives are anti-consumer and they're not good for the customer. Thankfully, exclusives are quickly becoming a dying breed, and the gaming industry is going to be better off for it. Microsoft have already taken steps in the right direction with their current gen AAA games now being available on PC, such as Gears of War, and we've already seen older games from both Microsoft and Sony being ported over to the PC as well. So this notion of AAA exclusivity for consoles is really fading, and it's fading fast. I think that the point that you're actually looking for is how consoles hold back game developers and are what tend to lead to downgrades in overall graphical fidelity with multi-platform games. We've seen this with The Witcher 3, and there are reports that this is also the case for Cyberpunk 2077 being delayed until later this year. When there are patches that need to be made for multi-platform games, PCs are the ones that are updated much more frequently and at a much faster pace. This is because the game developers don't need to submit those patches to Microsoft or to Sony in order for them to approve the patch, because Microsoft and Sony have to worry about if the patch is going to screw up anything else on the console. So the fact that you're trying to say that consoles get prioritization when it comes to patches is simply not the case. Consoles are not prioritized over PCs, but they do require more attention from developers, because they have to squeeze what little performance can be had out of objectively inferior hardware. I will give credit where credit is due, however. Life Made Easy does state that the number of exclusive titles along with extensive libraries is a huge draw for people wanting to come over to the PC platform.
Okay, so the third reason why console gaming is better, this is actually, in my last video I said that PC gaming can be cheaper. Specifically, I use the word can. If you want to buy a cheap PC, that is possible. You can afford a cheap PC to run games that is less expensive than console. However, when it comes to consoles, it's usually a set price, usually $300-400 for a PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, somewhere in that price range, and you're going to be getting specific performance for that price. It's not going to change. It's going to be good performance for that price. So when you're buying a PC for at that price range, it tends not to run too well. FPS can be a little shaky here and there. So console gaming at that price is usually better in terms of performance than PC. Not all the times. I'm just saying most of the time. There are exceptions for everything. If you can find a really good build, that's possible. But in this case, console gaming is generally cheaper.
I'm surprised cost wasn't higher up on this list. I mean, he's just as wrong with this as he's been wrong with everything else in this video, but I guess insinuating that console gamers are idiots was more important to him. PC gaming allows people to build their systems to fit their budget and to fit their needs. Someone may want to put more money into their processor or graphics card because performance is something that's important to them over something like storage. People are free to do as they wish when building a PC, and the cost can vary. Computers can range anywhere from $200 to $20,000. You say that console gaming gives better performance for the price point, and that's simply not the case. There are countless articles and videos titled things like PC console killing builds, like this one, and you can see the PC outperforming consoles. Now, let's say you want a really nice PC that plays games on high or even max settings. Sure, the cost up front is going to be higher, but over time, PC gaming is considerably cheaper. PC games are less expensive as they're digital copies and don't have the overhead of physical copies. We don't have to pay extra fees in order to play games online with internet that we already own, which saves us $60 a year. If we look over the course of a standard console generation, which is roughly a 7-year period, that's going to save you $420. This is, of course, assuming you don't choose to upgrade to the newest console with these new half generations that we're dealing with. And if you do choose to do the half upgrade, console gaming has just become far more expensive than a PC. How are you going to just turn around and say that sometimes PC gaming is cheaper than console gaming? Why did you even bother trying to make this point if you were just going to refute it anyway?
Okay, so guys, the fourth reason why console gaming is better is just the overall environment when it comes to console gaming. Usually console gaming, you set it up in your living room, family room, something like that.
I mean, unless you set it up in your bedroom or your office.
Big, wide 4K TV, so that people can come over and play with you. It's a much better environment. PC is much more serious in the case that you're sitting down at your desk. Your PC is usually under your desk or something like that. Console gaming, just got your console out, plugged it into your TV. Everyone can enjoy it. Good for like social events, stuff like that. If you want to spend time with friends, actually with your friends instead of just playing online. So console gaming does most of the time have a better environment. You can't really have that sort of social environment with PC gaming. It doesn't really work like that because you can't have multiple mice playing at the same time. That just doesn't work these days. And yeah, multiple controllers is usually ideal for a social environment.
Why not just plug the PC into the big wide 4K TV? That's an option that you have with PC. I don't understand why people don't grasp that concept. And how does having a console hooked up affect people being able to come over and play with you? If you have a 32-inch TV, are people just going to think that you're poor and not want to hang out with you? I mean, I think you need some new friends. Do you not know what a LAN party is? Have you never had your friends bring over their PCs or their consoles to your house, or bring your console or PC to somebody else's house? I remember when I was in high school, I would take my Xbox over to a friend's house with a few other kids from school and we'd play Halo together, or I'd bring my laptop over and we'd play World of Warcraft. And you do understand that controllers can be used on a PC, right? It's just another reason why PC gaming is better than consoles.
Okay, so the last one is very subjective, very controversial. This can go either way, but I'm just going to be making the point for this video for those who are agreeing with me, and that is that this is hard, but controllers are better than PC or mouse and keyboard. I'm sorry. Now, I know this is not true in every case. I know you can aim better on Fortnite with your mouse and keyboard, like Tfue can, but for the average player, controller is better just because it's really simple to use and it does not take a while to learn, like PC mouse and keyboard. So with that, I know I'm going to get comments saying that they don't agree with me on that specific one, because that's very subjective, but I hope you guys enjoy this video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel.
This point is not subjective. Mouse and keyboard is objectively better than a controller. You even admit yourself that a controller is inaccurate when compared to a mouse and keyboard. A controller is such an inadequate device that there has to be built-in aim assist, and games need things like bullet magnetism so you aren't missing your shots left and right.
Now, if we turn on the debug stuff here, you'll see a ton of different circles here. This little cross here that you see is actually where the bullets will bend towards, where your aim is actually corrected to. And as I go over him, you'll see it actually snaps to him. It kind of gets back to the center of my actual reticle. And this other angle out here, this is the magnetism. Magnetism basically means that we slow down your turning speed when you get close to an enemy. And the reason for that is that you won't just sweep over him. It'll kind of stick. And also, when you're inside of the magnetism cone, any movement that this guy does, your reticle will try and follow him to correct. So when a guy is strafing, if you're inside of the magnetism, you get a little bit of assistance to help track him.
If you look at most professional gaming competitions for first-person shooters, they're going to be using mouse and keyboards because they want the most precision possible, and that's just not something you're going to get with a controller. I don't understand this point that it's easier to learn on a controller. I mean, if you start by playing on a mouse and keyboard, that's going to be easier for you than playing with a controller right off the bat. And I'm not saying that you can't enjoy playing with a controller more than a mouse and keyboard, but you can't sit there and say that a controller is better than a mouse and keyboard and then use that as a point in this video when you yourself said it's subjective, which again, it's not. But if you don't feel that it is better, and if you don't feel that it gives the consoles a leg up on PC, why the fuck would you even include it in this list? And that's it. That's the end of the video, and it was just about as painful as I thought it was going to be. If you liked this style of content and want me to do more response videos, whether it be for this topic or something else, go ahead and let me know down in the comments below. And don't forget, if you enjoyed the content, dropping a like below or subscribing to the channel really helps me out. Thank you very much, and until next time, I will see you in the next video.